Brother Tree awoke with a violent pulsing in his center ring, which frightened him. Sister Tree had lived there peacefully now for 50 years. What was this sudden burst? Just a dream, Brother Tree concluded. As they did every day, Sun and Breeze helped Brother Tree with his morning ablutions, known in the more base circles of the landscape as shaking off the dew. Finished with the first part of the ritual, he raised himself to take a deep breath, but stopped short when he noticed something new and very important. His uppermost branches were nearly to the top of the castle wall. Brother Tree had never considered the possibility of reaching such a height. As a tree, he never thought about growing. He realized he was taller than he'd been last year and the year before. But somehow for trees, unlike humans, the events of the past are never transformed into aspirations for the future. Rather than our three-dimensional concept of time, i.e. past, present, and future, trees are blessed only with two dimensions, past and present. Trees don't make plans. Trees are historians, not politicians. Sister Tree looked down at the Duke of Cleary and his court as they picnicked in the shade of her great boughs. The Duke was now old and frail, his once great thick orange tuft reduced to a few long stubborn yellow strands, like the silk that clings to husked corn. The Duke's grandchildren amused him with improvised stories and long stocking hand puppets. Sister Tree, stronger and healthier than ever, still only looked down. But as she looked down, Sister Tree knew that all that was around her was not of her. The leaves and seeds she dropped, Leopold swept regularly into the bin once each morning and once each afternoon. She felt no kinship to the elaborate gardens and fountains which landscape artists had designed and with whom she had shared the courtyard for so many springs. She and they were more invention than creation. Sister Tree knew these things, but did not know she knew them. She could not fashion the thoughts in her mind as the Duke's grandchildren fashioned their puppet story. She only felt the longing, as always, from deep in her center ring. She was a tree, and a tree is what it is. Without thinking, Sister Tree looked up to the sky. Night fell. Brother Tree looked at the wall. He could not help but think that if he were just a bit taller, he could be reunited with... Oh, no, it was an impossible thought. Not at all in his nature as a tree. Every tree is by definition the best and only possible tree it can be. For a tree to want to be anything other than what it is antithetical to the whole notion of treeness. And yet he could not help himself. It was the first time Sister Tree had looked up since her earliest days inside Cleary Castle. The dark gray moonless sky and memories it concealed generated a sharp pain that went through Sister Tree like a bolt. But before she was able to look away, she made an astounding discovery. Her highest branches rose to the top of the castle wall. Her center ring swelled as if it would burst. The sensation reached the end of her roots and seemed to actually vibrate the ground below Cleary Castle, just as a neat row of white potted pimpernels closed their petals.
You cover the torches. You take the statues inside. They'll be smashed to bits by the storm. William, help me! You've got to protect the tree. It's the strongest part. Fine. You can at least make fast her vulnerable limbs. Hurry! It's a twister. It's a twister. When as I tell you,
A sudden, violent spring storm had erupted in the night. While the Duke's workers frantically scurried to protect the castle and gardens, Brother Tree's and Sister Tree's gaze stayed fixed on the tumultuous heavens. Swaying and swirling with the clouds, their limbs bucked and leaped. Each of them felt as if the wind would pull them up from their roots. Pummeling rain and flying debris mattered little, though, as Brother Tree and Sister Tree held tightly to their center ring, from which they drew strength, certainty, and a quiet, intense calm.
Yeah, boy, that was some storm last night.
I'll say it was.
It'd be a pretty nice spread this morning, though.
Should be.
Everything
yeah.
was churned up by the flood.
Oh, hey, look at this. Oh,
Yeah, what did I tell you?
It all looks so good. Oh.
Hey, now, don't fill up on worms now. You know what that does to you.
Oh, you're such a worrywart.
Chief Builder? I say, Chief Builder, have you assessed the damage?
Oh, well, you know, it looks pretty bad, Sir Duke. The tornado took off most of the roof and sucked out half the interior structure. And if that wasn't bad enough, the rushing waters really did a job on the foundation. I don't think it's worth fixing. I think we better move on.
Well, I'm much too old for that, Chief Builder. Architect! Where is that good? Architect!
Right here, Sir Duke.
Architect!
Yeah, right here, Sir Duke.
Talk to me.
Well, Sir Duke, according to my structural analysis, we're pretty well done for. Cleary Castle is going to crumble under its own weight. Yep.
How long have we got, Architect?
Oh, optimistically, I'd say about 10 years.
10 years? Hell, we'll all be dead by then. To tell truth, I'm surprised we're still alive as it is. Patch it up best you can, Chief Builder. We'll live out our days here, and I'll let the kids decide where to go next. Good, man. Off you go. To work with it now. Somebody get me a towel.
Hey, where are you three going? What am I supposed to do with this mess? Where are you going? I need some support here. My work. Oh, my beautiful work.
Landscape artist, alone in the courtyard, fell to his knees in the slop that was once his garden showplace. His chin in his chest, he opened his eyes and saw a strange vision. Light and shadow dancing wildly on the muddy courtyard floor beneath him. He looked up and saw the once magnificent Cleary tree, free from ornamentation, tall and wild, reaching far over the castle wall, her upper branches entwined with Brother Tree. Sun smiled on them, breeze moved them. They danced with abandon. The flood of beauty and memory which had stirred from Sister Tree's center ring now reached the very limits of her highest and smallest sprig. She was again part of the landscape. Many years have passed. The Duke of Cleary and his court are long gone. The Duke's children, with grandchildren of their own, have long since relocated. Cleary Castle eventually crumbled, just as architect had foretold. But the landscape remains, as do Brother and Sister Tree. Old and stately, yet strong, rooted firmly, they rise high above this typical and extraordinary stretch of earth. To the careful observer, every morning's light reveals a change or two. But even the most casual passers-by are sometimes struck by the transformation of things after a long, hard spring rain.